Assalamu alaikum and greeting everyone. It is a lovely day outside. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. Nur Dhiya Qaleesya Binti Marzukie is my given name. I'm 12 years old and is studying at Sekolah Kebangsaan Sri Kelana, school called BBA 8221. My favorite subject is mathematics and English. I love learning languages. Currently, I'm obsessed with Japanese language. Konnichiwa! My goal is to get my doctorate in cultural studies. Quite ambitious, right? I love to read. I have myriad of book collections at home that I share with my sisters. My favorite one is written by Enid Blyton, an all-time author. Even my own mother read Enid Blyton's book when she was younger. I guess she's old now. One of my all-time favorite books by Enid Blyton is The Mystery of Secret Room. It is the third book out of 15 from the 5 Found Outers series. It has 270 pages with 21 chapters in it. This book is first published in Great Britain in 1943 by Blyton and Company Limited. This book series is about 5 kids who love to solve mysteries. So far, they have solved 2 mysteries. The 5 kids are Frederick Algernon Trotterville, known as Fatty, the 2 siblings Lawrence Deakin and Margaret Deakin, known as Larry and Daisy, and the other 2 siblings Philip Hilton and Elizabeth Hilton, known as Pip and Bets. Not to forget, Buster the Jet, Black Scottish Terrier owned by Fatty. In this book, Fatty was chosen as the leader of the 5 Found Outers. It is because he has been reading books on spies and playing detectives. He figured out on how to get out of a locked room when the key is not on his side. He wrote letters with invisible ink using orange juice, and he has been practicing disguises. He even pranked his friends by disguising as a French boy, and of course, all his friends thought he was someone else. It was hilarious when they found out that Fatty had pranked them. The 5 had fun with Fatty's new techniques, particularly disguises. Pip disguised himself with a wig and some sticking out teeth and attracted the attention of Mr. Goon, the policeman who hated them, and chases him across the village. In an attempt to escape Mr. Goon, Pip runs into the ground of an empty house and climbs a tree. He's very surprised to see a fully furnished room at the top of a supposedly abandoned house. The Find Outers get to work to discover who owns Blyton House and why is there a secret room, who uses it and why. The children trace the owner of the house to the blandly named John Henry Smith, who lives in a distant town. Fatty telephones Mr. Smith and alerts him to the fact that someone knows about the secret room. Expecting the mysterious Mr. Smith to come to Peterswood and check out what is happening at Blyton House, Fatty disguised himself with his wig and teeth and went to the house at midnight. He managed to get inside and discovers a notebook written in code in the secret room. However, he was captured by the men and forced him to write a letter to his other friends to trap them inside the house. Fatty wrote a note, but he wrote another secret note in invisible ink, warning the children and telling them to call the police. Luckily, Bet noticed that Fatty's note smelled of oranges. Orange juice was used as the secret ink, and the others realized the danger Fatty was in and telephoned their favorite policeman, Inspector Jenks. Meanwhile, Fatty escaped from the locked room and managed to meet Inspector Jenks outside the house and hand him the codebook. The police round up the villains who were international thieves, and all is well. In this book, you can see how these children has a very good teamwork when solving mystery. They rely on each other to make sure everybody is safe. The kids also show a good example for the community. They tend to care about others and making their place safe to live in. Although, if you really think about it, the kids should have notified the adults about the suspicious activity rather than risking themselves. They should be reprimanded for their behavior, like staying out at night without the adult's permission and trespassing someone's property. Every single chapter in this book is full of suspense and it just ignites curiosity. It is such a gripping book, not just this book, but the whole series. The story is easy to understand as this book uses straightforward sentences. The price itself is also quite reasonable, which is Ringgit Malaysia 1580. But the drawback of this book is its cover. It is not eye-catching enough for a kid like me. The color of the book should be more brighter and the picture should be more striking to show it is a mystery book. If my parents didn't force me to read this book, I would have never found out how interesting and captivating this book is. Anyway, I still suggest all of you to read this book. It's worth reading and I promise you, you definitely won't regret it. Thank you, until we meet again.